Are we all in? Are you going to be quiet so you can listen to me or carry on talking? I was worried you were going to carry on talking, actually. So, first of all, thank you very, very much for coming. I know it takes a lot of time out of your day, but obviously we're super excited about Trade for 40 years. It's a big thing for us, and thank you for celebrating it with us and joining with us in this celebration. I said the same thing twice back front. There you go. Okay, I was going to talk about housekeeping rules, but by now you've probably figured out where everything is. If anybody hasn't had a hog roast, it's over there. And Paul was going to do a load of magical tricks. Paul's one of our sales guys. If he hasn't done a fantastic magical trick for you, you need to go and see Paul a little bit later on. We've got a nickname for him. I won't tell you over the mic what that is. But, yeah. Yes, at least we are all in with Texcel. We're out of Europe, we're out of the European Cup, but at least we're all in with Texcel. So thank you very much for that. And I think going forwards, if you think about the environment, we have a lot of customers here and a lot of suppliers, and I think by working together and being together, we can survive all the aggravation and the chaos that's going on and be stronger at the end of it if we're all working together. So thank you for that. So I've got a couple of people with me here. In fact, I've got two people, but there should be a third person. So I've got two people here, and I'll introduce them to you. The first one is our chairman. Now, many years ago, when I had long hair and used to ride a motorbike, this very nice chap offered me a job. It was bloody good, because since then I've managed to stay here, avoid any trouble, and I've had a great time here. So I'd like Mr. Bryce to start off and give you a little introduction. Bill started the company 40 years ago. I know you're thinking yourselves he doesn't look that old, but Andy and I have made it a very easy life for him. So, Bill, if you'd like to say a few words.
A long time, 40 years. But I can honestly remember it as if it was just yesterday. And one of the reasons I can remember it was so well, I was only 6 months married, and I came home one night with a bit of paper in my hand, and it was a letter from the bank manager, which I presented to my wife, and I said the bank manager would like you to sign this little bit of paper, and it was regarding our house. She's never let me forget that. So that's one of the reasons why I could remember it as if it was yesterday. So Texcel was founded by three guys who all worked at GCLA in Lewisham. It was Ken Luscombe, he was the chief engineer there, and there was John Crawford, he was the product marketing manager, and there was myself, quality manager. So it was a lovely little tripartite arrangement. There was a designer, there was a salesman, and there was a production guy. And our object was to set up a company to manufacture, design and manufacture the most advanced loading computers for ships in the world. Quite an ambition, you might think, because who we were in competition with was Mitsubishi in Japan, there was Raytheon in the States, and there was Godevurkin and Kockums in Scandinavia. But we were very successful, and we went on to sell to Esso and Shell and Cunard. And in fact, we were one of the very few UK companies that were managing to sell computers into Japan in the 80s. No other UK companies, because they were very protectionist. So over the years, we've diversified into high-tech manufacturing and design. And we've been extremely fortunate in having a very capable workforce and management as well. And our present success is due in no small way to our current MD, Andy McLeod, and our commercial director, Shawyer. And I'd like to thank them sincerely with extreme gratitude for what they've done recently. I'm getting a bit nervous. There are, however, two other people I would like to mention, apart from my wife who signed that bit of paper. One is our very first wireman, Abraham Michael John, who became charge hand, foreman, production manager, and eventually works director, managing 150 staff on the shop floor. His hard work and thrift are another reason for our success. Of an evening, he would be seen brushing up all the resistor cut ends, the copper ends of the components, and scraping off the solder bath on the flow sorting machine so they could be recycled to save money. He's now long retired and managing his cocoa and nutmeg plantation in Grenada. The other is our recently retired financial director, Sandra Suckling, who throughout the 40 years kept a vigilant eye on the bank statements and a strong hand on the purse strings. So I'd like to thank both of them, and in fact all our Texcel family, our customers, present and past, without whom none of this would be possible. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that, Bill. So you noticed there that Bill likes to wave his arms around, and that doesn't go so well with the microphone. But thanks very much, Bill. Well done. So,
I learned when I was in practice 15 years hard.
but well done all the same. Thank you very much. So Andy spent the last 3 weeks writing a 15-page presentation for you.
I've changed the font behind you.
Andy would like to say a few words, and you won't hear from me after that, I don't think. After that, we're going to have a little bit of. Okay, you won't hear from me. But you might have we've got a cake cutting to do. If anybody hasn't seen the cake, it's fantastic to look at. We've had a number of people actually put it to real circuit boards. Honestly, we make boards better than that. I'll pass you over now to Andy, our MD.
You can tell I've been here a long time because those of you who know me realise I have to use glasses. And Pete's point about my speech was 20 pages long when I had it on type 40 font. But I reduced it and bowed down and put my glasses on. Thank you all for coming. It is impressive. I think it's a sign that we don't just deal with each other, that all of us have a relationship, which is very important because business succeeds through relationships. It's not a one-time deal, a one-stop shop. It's how you build a relationship, how you work together for the future. And I was going to extend a thank you to the Right Honourable David Evennett, our MP, if any of you met him. Unfortunately, you're probably aware he's quite busy at the moment. He's had to rush off.
He shook hands with everybody.
He did, I'm sure. Thank you for Bill for returning. He's actually come back from his holiday just to be with us today.
Holiday? It's one long holiday.
I wasn't going to comment because. And obviously, see Sandra. And this year, she managed to scrape in her 40-year service before going off for a happy retirement. And I did actually ask her this morning, after 40 years, has she managed to stop waking up in the morning and listening to the traffic report on the M20? And just about. So this year's been a great celebration for us. We've been in for a number of awards, both local events which we won commendations for. If you haven't seen them, there's some certificates and trophies on the back table. But most recently, last week, we were proudly the winners of an award from Keeper. For those of you who don't know, that's the Kent Enterprising Business Awards. So a very big, posthumous affair, lots of sparkly dresses and us too. But we turned up, and if I'm honest, it was a great surprise that we actually won one of the two events we were in, I think. We were both sitting there, very hot, with our jackets over the back of the chairs, waiting for someone else to be announced. To the point that we then marched up received the award, and with great regret we've announced to each other today the compere said, would you, either of you like to say words? No, thank you, and we walked off. There is next year. But we won an award for the best technology company in Kent. Very proud. So not only do we receive recognition from our customers, from our suppliers, because we accept all the feedback we get, good and bad, but now from industry experts. So we've continued through everything we do and everything we've tried. We've got people who've come back and haven't been here years. Hopefully they've noticed a big change. We're continuing our year-on-year growth very successfully. We're still posting a 20% growth on this year despite the economic uncertainty out there. And hopefully by now, some of you took a bit longer on your tours than others, but hopefully you've all had a very brief tour. And you've seen the facility, similar to a lot of others, but we try to keep up with the latest technology. A lot of people are surprised that they come through the red brick facade into a TARDIS of a building full of technology and advanced skills. But you may also have noticed the high number of operators. Now, Bill mentioned that we once had 150 people, but as you can imagine, as technology advances, you don't need so many people. But we still have 108 people. Predominantly because, despite the advances in technology, some parts don't lend themselves to machine placements, etc. So you need the wonderful ladies and gents with their dexterity making some of the balls for us. And that's 40 years on, which you might have hoped that would have changed by now. Then most of you, other than Peter's wonderful newsletters, probably know Texcel as a subcontract manufacturer. But as Bill mentioned, we didn't start that way. And over the years, we've designed some very prestigious products and some very high caliber blue chip customer base. From the early designs of the ship-loading cargo master computer, through pulse-generated equipment, which was the original call charging system for the likes of BT. A monitoring solution for BT, which at its peak had 30,000 units installed around the UK. And even in the last 5 years, we've done software updates to keep that product going. We designed and manufactured a control system for the parliamentary division bell system. So when the Commons and Lords are summoned to a vote, the kit that drives it was ours. But this was a real challenge because, as you can imagine, anything in Parliament, what goes on behind the scenes can be state of the art. But what happens in the parliamentary buildings, the corridors and everything has to remain with history. So we had the challenge of integrating modern technology with old-fashioned bells and chaotic wiring systems and chaos. That was back in the days when Peter and I would roll our sleeves up and carry the thing up the stairs in Parliament and crawl around under tables. But also we designed a large range of monitoring products. Some of our ex-employees who are now suppliers and local businesses have come back. They was all part of that design and development. And we were successful in winning a huge contract for a monitoring solution for what was then Mercury and Unitel, these two companies which later become what you might have heard of as Mercury One-to-One. It's T-Mobile and probably EE now. But we successfully installed and we actually took some of our staff and we travelled the country installing boxes in these substations you see where there's one at the end of the roof. But we went to the nth degree and we won the business for the keypad, security door entry, and we went and designed one. Everything that was available in there, the air conditioning control and lots of other equipment. So we won a huge amount of business. And the offspring of that was that we then took that product and took on an export sales director. And we subsequently had success exporting the same product. Mexico, Brazil, Nigeria, Angola and the Netherlands. I'm sure there's others. But for a company, us, humble, small, in Crayford, we believe we've achieved great success. Most recently, from the posters around and the newsletters we sent out, our skills have been turned to subsea observation, where we successfully won a contract to build a power supply, control and monitoring solution for a cabled subsea observatory. Since the first project we had, we've installed a project off the coast of America, off the coast of Canada, most recently in Galway Bay, somewhat shallow. But that said, we have something else as a company. Something very special, something not obvious to the naked eye. I can hear the sound of intrigue. But actually, it's these people here, and those around the outside. It's our staff. These people make us what we are. Yes, we manage the business, but these people, they make the product. They alert us to the improvements we can make. They come in, day out, achieving high quality standards. So, and it's their ethos, the culture we've developed within the company. So we're not all the same nationality, but we work as a team. It's probably the biggest family I know without any bloodline. That said, it makes but as I say, they all make Texcel work. It's also a very proud achievement that out of those 108 staff, 7 of them have been here for 25 years plus, and a further dozen between 18 and 22 years. There's not many companies around nowadays that hold people with that length of service. I don't think anybody would assume nowadays there's a job for life. I hope that we are proof that that can still happen. I could go on for hours. I probably have, sorry about that. But I've had the privilege personally of working here for 30 years. And somebody asked me, so do you like it? I said, I'm not quite sure yet, so I'm going to stay for a bit longer. But literally, I think back and I have to think of significant milestones in my life, because if I don't, it's passed in the blink of an eye. And it seems like I started here yesterday, in sunny Greenwich where we were based. But I would like to just say thank you all again for taking time out of your busy schedules to come here and celebrate this day with us. I'd like to thank Bill in return for giving Pete and I the opportunity over the years to run the business for him. A very trusting person who's obviously when you start something up, it's a bit like giving your child away for adoption, I should think. And he's allowed us to have reins of the control. So, and also I'd like to thank Sandra for doing us the honour of returning from her retirement. We dream, we're dreaming. And I'd like to just say thank you again all for coming, and without further ado, we'd like our Sandra to come up and cut our cake.
Well, yes, in the middle of the 40s song.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could get everyone in the back.
We still get cake.
Well done, Sandra. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're going to get a cake cut. If anybody's on a diet, then sorry for you. The rest of you, we'll be able to cut you a piece in about 4 or 5 minutes and come and help yourselves. Is that all right? Okay. So the rest of the evening, afternoon, it's all yours. So there's some more hog roast, there's more sandwiches. Brian actually was in charge of beer and wine. Obviously, expected twice as many people who all like to be drunks. So help yourself carry on some drinks and just chill out. Thank you very much. Bye.